And we're back with John Capobianco, big shot conservative, and Anthony Kicking the Tires Fiore. Before the break, you were invited by John to see what kicking the tires is all about. I mean, when people are kicking your Carney tires, sometimes they're finding, well, he's not that impressive as he looks on paper.
I've been hearing.
You're not speechless. I know that.
No, I've been hearing the opposite. I've been hearing the opposite because I used to work on elections, so I feel like I have a lot of trust from people in my community that I'll never see their names on the air, but they're calling me saying, how do I vote for Mark Carney? Who's the Liberal guy? I'm not voting Conservative this time. This is the guy I want in, because I think the ballot question right now, and this could change, is Donald Trump and our sovereignty. I don't ever remember an election like this. I remember national unity crises. 97 comes to mind with all that referendum stuff. I've never seen...
What's a ballot question on Trump? Trump is a president of the United States of America. We are not voting for or against him. It doesn't matter. How does that make the ballot question?
It makes the ballot question about who is going to be best positioned to protect our economic sovereignty. And I believe it's Mark Carney. I think Mr. Capobianco has a different opinion than that. But I am also seeing the public shift more towards Mark Carney. Now, to his point...
Why is that?
Why? You said it. It's an impressive resume. There's a dearth of private sector experience. Governor of the Bank of Canada, governor of the Bank of England. I don't see why that's bad to have a good resume.
No,
all I heard for 9 years...
Hang on for a second. So he was a technocrat. He's a banker, and that's all fine. Poilievre has been out there shooting people for his whole life in Parliament. Don't you want someone who's out there battle-tested and ready to go down there and not be eaten up by the big bad Donald Trump?
So it's not more of a question of battle tested. It's a question of ideology. I'm not a conservative, so I'm not going to support Mr. Poilievre. And I do believe that the leader that we selected as a party, we all went and voted. Okay, in the leadership race. Yes, all 130,000 of us went and voted, and we believed he was the best person. Now, you're correct. He's not battle tested. That could be problematic. But what he does have, I think, are the chops to go up against Trump. We had a great response from the phone call with him. The media could have spun it a different way if it was Pierre Poilievre. I know that they would have probably done that. However, what we have is what I think is workability. And I don't want to upset our allies. I don't want to upset the United States. I want to get this tariff war over, and I think he has the chops to do it, personally.
Do you believe that, John?
Well, yet to be determined. I think that everybody made sort of this big fuss about the conversation that he had with the President Trump over the course of the last week, and I think that was to your point, Anthony, quite well. It was played in a very different way in the media than it would have been if Pierre would have made the call and if Trump would have given him all of the wonderful acclaim and applause and all sorts of things. But I do think that with President Trump, you just don't know what his true intentions are. Was he trying to be too cute by half by giving him the deference of calling him the Prime Minister and calling him by name, Mark? Is he trying to sort of give a subtle message? The test is going to be at 12 o'clock tonight, or it'll be when the tariffs come in. Does the conversation that Mark Carney had with President Trump change the dial? Does it mean anything? Or does President Trump come back and sort of allay the tariffs as he would normally? So in that case, people will question whether or not Mark Carney has the influence or the chops to actually make any difference.
What about the fact that the president is quoted as saying he would rather deal with a Liberal government? Some people are saying, well, yeah, because he doesn't want to get eaten up by Poilievre. I gave you that one. Now go ahead.
Well, yes. No, I actually think that, again, with President Trump, you just don't know what his motives are and what his intentions are. I think that he truly believes that Canada has wronged him for the last decades and whatnot. And so I do think that underlining understanding from the president is true. And whoever gets in there is going to have to deal with that underlining concern, is that he believes that Canada is somebody that's taken advantage of them for so many years.
How many times?
Have we big bad Canadians been picking on Uncle Sam?
No. We're their best trading partner, their biggest ally. What did we do? We're nothing. We're the neighbor. We mow our grass. We keep the landscaping done nice. What do these people want from us? They're calling the HOA on us for nothing because we put a flag in the window or something. What I've yet to see Pierre Poilievre do for me is I've yet to see him pivot on the issues. I drive up and down the Gardiner Expressway. I know every pothole on that highway. Those stupid billboards where it's tax relief, they finally just came down because that narrative is done. Trudeau, Carney, Liberals, all that stuff is dead in the water now with this. I want to see Pierre Poilievre see if he can potentially pivot on the issues, which he has not done that yet. Not to mention the fact that there's 44 plus members of his caucus that are all caught wearing MAGA hats and stuff, so that's not a good thing either. I think Mark Carney is best positioned for it. Yes, he has the resume, but to your point, he's not. We don't know what this outcome is going to be because he's not politically tested. And what I would like to see Mr. Carney do, as a Liberal, as somebody who is going to entrust him with the highest power in our office, the Prime Minister, well, there's more, but you know what I'm saying with that, is I'd like to see what he's going to promise Canadians and show how he's going to deliver that, because we've had 10 years of promises, announcements, and things that haven't been delivered properly. I want to see if he's going to actually make the real pivot the Liberals need to do and show he's going to deliver those programs.
You just heard Anthony Fior be critical of the last 10 years of Liberal government. Before he says anything else, quick break, and we come back for more of this.